All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to GSR Gonzo'S Sports Room, Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. I'm Chris Gonzo'S, joined by Justin Terrell, Big Glenn, and OG Tony. What's up, fellas?
Doing fantastic, man. It's a good day when the Reds take care of business, obviously. So,
Five in a row.
yep,
Yeah,
We,
five in
if,
a
we can
row.
get, if we can get a win tomorrow, that means we won three out of our first four series to start the season.
Yep, and more than that we can count on one hand.
Hey, I see the thumbs down, Justin. How's those Cubbies do it?
I don't know. I haven't checked in a minute.
I
I'll
don't know
tell
how
you,
they
they're
done today. I
five.
think they were 4-6 going into today.
They're 5-6. So
They won today.
Oh, they won today. So hey, we're almost to 500. I'll take that.
I was gonna say they
They
were.
got plenty of
I'm pretty
baseball to
sure they
go.
were 4-6 when I looked last night, so they must have won today.
well, since we're starting off, we'll just start off with baseball, guys, and then we'll jump into some NCAA. Yeah, the Cubs are 5-6. The Reds are what, Chris? 8-3. The Brewers are 8-3. Pirates are 7-4. I was going to ask you guys. Do you guys think the Pirates are they for real? I'm not saying they're going to win the division or anything, but I think they're a lot better team than what they were. They got a lot of young, good players. I think definitely on the uprise.
Yeah, they're a better team than they were last year. They have a good young pitching staff, and they went out, they actually spent a little bit of money this offseason for a change. They brought in Ozuna and a couple other bats to try to help that lineup. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Still don't think they have enough to win the division, but I think they're going to be a lot more competitive this year than they have the last few years. I mean, with Skeen and then I think it's Ashcraft and another. They got three good young starters there, and if they can score some run, if they can just get some run support, they'll be competitive. With the Reds, like our pitching staff's been great. We just got to start getting a little bit more run support.
Yeah, our batting average is 210.
The thing that's helped the Reds so far is last year we were terrible in close game in 2-run games decided by 2 runs or less. This year we're 7-0 in games decided by 2 runs or less. That's been the big difference so far for the Reds. I know tonight ended up being decided by 3, but hey, we were down 2-0 going into the top of the ninth, tied that game up, and then won it in the 10th. So. But that's been the biggest difference so far for the Reds is we're winning close games, where last year we lost most of our close games.
Well, right now we're getting a key hit. We're still not hitting great, 210, like I said a minute ago, but we're getting a key hit when we need it, and that's something we couldn't do last year to save our lives. So
I think the hitting will come around because I think for most major league teams, hitting starts slow. It seems like the pitchers are ahead of the hitting or hitters early in the season, and then you get the hitters about a month or so into the season, they start seeing the pitches a lot better, and you start seeing. I think most teams start hitting the ball better.
McLean's hitting the ball really well.
Sal Stewart is hitting. Sal Stewart's hitting. He's on pace to be rookie of the year for sure if he keeps up what he's doing. He's been real good so far.
National League West, the Dodgers are 9-2, and different from last year, the National League West got off to a hot start, but this year, man, everybody else in the division is not playing very well at all losing records right now. So that's kind of unusual for the West. The Mets are 7-4, leading their way over the Phillies and the Braves. But it's still very early. Let's take a look at the American League. Yankees off to a hot start, 8-2. The rest division not playing well. Orioles 5-6, and then so on. Guardians are playing decent, 7-5. The Guardians are definitely a team. I think they got a pretty good pitching staff, so you have to keep an eye on them. Tigers not off to a real good start, 4-6, but you know how that goes. In the American League West, you got the Astros and the Angels leading the way there with a 6-5 record. Rangers are 5-5, and we had just swept them this past weekend. So baseball off to a little bit of an interesting start so far, but I did want to bring up something that happened Major League Baseball this past Saturday. Outfielder Joe Adele for the Los Angeles Angels robbed 3 home runs in one game. I mean, you're lucky to rob 1 home run in a season. And he did 3 in one game. And one, Chris was explaining to us when he was talking off the air, because originally when he made this one catch and fell into the crowd, the announcer said that's still going to be a home run. And then immediately said, well, wait, they're calling him out. Chris, you can explain that rule again like you did off the air. Why was that an out?
Yeah, first, I mean, a lot of guys might not get a chance to rob a home run their whole career, let alone get 3 chances in one game.
Yeah.
But no, the rule is as long as a part of your body is still in the field of play when you catch the ball, it's still considered an out. What the rule's basically there for is for where somebody can't like try to climb the fence and be standing on top of the wall or and catch a
Okay.
ball like that. But if you jump to catch the ball, as long as a part of your body is still in the field of play when you catch it, it's considered fair.
So let me ask you this: say you jump over the wall and you bobble it, and you land in there, but you catch it. How would that be because you bobbled it?
Yeah, I'm not sure how they would rule that. To me, as long as you end up finishing the catch, it should be an out. But I'm not. I'd have to look that up. That's a good question.
You know
Yeah,
what's
me
ironic
either.
about this? Considering
I mean,
that,
it's no different like when you see guys catching the ball going in foul territory and fall over into the fans. It's an out. It's
Yeah,
basically the same thing. You're just on in the outfield,
yeah.
and you're
you know what's ironic about this though is the fact that it happened with the LA Angels, and that sounded like some Angels in the outfield shit.
Yeah.
well. That's what was. I didn't. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't watch the game. I was watching the Reds game, but they said I don't know if they mentioned it during the Reds game or if I heard on the radio talking about the guy robbing 3 home runs. And my first thought was three. Hell, a lot of guys don't ever get a chance to rob a home run, let
Yep.
alone 3 chances in one game to rob a home run. So
So
and
I'm
to
sure.
make all those catches, and I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
I'm sure that's the
We
only
might
time
not
it's
see
ever happened.
again.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. You guys got anything else you want to touch on baseball before we move on to some NCAA basketball?
Let's go. Yeah, let's go to the NCAA.
Okay, okay. Well, let's jump in with the women's because it started first. It started on Friday and started off with I think, a pretty big upset.
Yeah,
South Carolina defeating UConn 62-48, and then the next game UCLA defeated Texas 51-44. Let's talk about the South Carolina UConn game. I know, Chris, me and you both thought that UConn was going to win that game. What do you think happened there?
I'm not sure what happened there because they got their asses beat. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch the game. I don't know if UConn went in maybe overlooking South Carolina a little bit, and then South Carolina was ready to play caught UConn on their heels, and then it was UConn just couldn't get. It was too late; they couldn't get back in the game. But you got to give South Carolina their credit. I mean, they came out and they dominated a team that had been dominating everybody all season. So yeah,
I know.
you have to give the credit to South Carolina.
I know exactly what happened because I paid attention to both games and stuff. So what happened with South Carolina and UConn is Don Staley drew up a one hell of a defensive game plan and stuff to where UConn was struggling to make shots the whole game. It was close for the parts of the first half, but in the second half, man, South Carolina turned out the wicker on them and start it slowly pulling away late.
Yeah, South Carolina, in the highlights I seen, I didn't watch the game live, but the highlights looked like they just out. It was just a lot more
Yeah,
physical in them, and
absolutely.
and also to their advantage, the refs let them play.
Yes.
The refs didn't call a lot of fouls. I know Connecticut's coach went berserk about that. He was
Yeah.
really, really upset. Did a lot of crying, which he's apologized for since then. That he said, "Hey, we got beat," So, but yeah, big win for South Carolina. So they moved on to the championship game. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the other game, UCLA defeating Texas 51-44. Now I didn't see much of the highlights there, Glenn. Can you
Yes,
tell
I
us a little
I
bit about
can
that
give
game?
you yeah, I can tell you a lot about this game. Honestly, this game was probably the game of the weekend between the Friday games and the championship on Sunday because uh UCLA and Texas were playing tight defense all the way through from start to finish. You can see by the final score and stuff. But UCLA was their definitely Texas's was their toughest challenge for UCLA. But UCLA, with their seniors, only seniors for the UCLA women's team is the only ones that scored the whole Final Four. All the points are scored by seniors. So it's amazing how UCLA was able to manage Texas then on the Sunday, obviously.
Okay. Anybody else got any thoughts on that game? Okay, we'll move on to the championship game. And it wasn't much of a game, guys. UCLA
Yeah.
started fast and pretty much ended that game probably by halftime, just about. Winning the game 79-51. Big win for UCLA. If I'm correct, I believe it's the first time they've won a championship
Yep.
in women's basketball since 1978.
Obviously, I kept a close eye on this game because I was in John Mullen's Indian Fever fans bracket challenge. So pretty much, if UCLA won the championship after Uconn losing on Friday, I was going to win the bracket, and sure enough, I did. But as far as the game itself is concerned, man, I expected this to be a 10 to 15 point game. I expected South Carolina to somewhat keep it close, but I expect UCLA to kick their ass the way they did.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I had UCLA going to the finals against UConn and losing, so of course I was wrong on that. But me and Chris talked a little bit on Saturday when we was at the wrestling event that we was at, and we both. I didn't know a lot about UCLA. I was rooting for them because they're a Big Ten team now.
Yeah.
I really thought South Carolina would win that game. I know Chris did too.
I saw UCLA play in person back at the Big Ten championship at the first week of March, and I stuck with my pick the same way you stuck with your men's championship pick, Tony. Just because the simple fact is they freaking killed Iowa by 50 here in Indy. So
Okay.
if you kill Iowa by 50 in the women's Big Ten championship game, you're probably the best team in the country, and sure enough, they ended up being that.
Yeah, could be. Well, it's like the men's we're going to talk about in a minute. Michigan defeated Gonzaga earlier in the year, like by about 40 or 50 points. So,
Yes.
Gonzaga's not no slouch. Justin or Chris, you guys got anything else on the NCAA Women's Championship before we move on?
More about if you're the
Nope,
play caller.
congratulations to UCLA.
Yep. Okay. And let's move on, guys, to the men's. We started off Saturday. I don't know either. Started off Saturday. UConn defeating Illinois 71-62. Fairly close game most of the way. Finally, UConn put it away there late. But then the second game, Michigan just jumped all over Arizona, 91-73. It wasn't probably even that close, to be honest. Michigan was dominant. Chris, your thoughts on those first two games in the men's tournament on Saturday?
Honestly, the Final Four games weren't as good as I thought they were going to be. I really thought both those games would be closer games. UConn, Illinois hung around that game, but UConn, like you said at the end, was able to put it away. But Arizona was never in that game against Michigan. Michigan was hitting all their shots, which when we get to last night's game, they wasn't. But all the way through the tournament, up until last night, they shot the hell out of the ball, and they were just basically blew everybody out except last night. So, but yeah, Michigan jumped on Arizona quick. So the Final Four games weren't as competitive as I thought they were going to be. I really thought that Michigan and Arizona game would be a game that would probably come down to the end. And like I said, it never really was a ball game.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Justin?
You want to make play calling easy.
Yeah, I agree with Chris.
Run the ball like
The games
that. I mean, when you
really
can
weren't
run that
as
first
competitive
down,
as I thought they would be. What is so funny?
You
It's-
got your
it's-
commentary. We're
Yeah, I
hearing
got some
commentary, I
commentary.
think, from
Yeah.
the football game.
What?
We heard some kind of commentary from a football game or something.
It sounded like Kirk Herbstreit was talking.
That's weird.
Okay.
Anyways,
Is Herb Street under your desk or something, maybe?
Oh shit!
hey, Kurt.
Quiet down there, buddy.
Where was I? No, you done lost me. You got me
Final
real
Four.
quick.
Final Four.
Final Four. Men's Final Four.
Yeah,
Sorry.
like Chris said, the games weren't really that competitive. I really thought we'd see a better game between Illinois and UConn. UConn just had the game pretty much won. I mean, from the get go, it was really cool to see two Indiana boys play against each other. It would have been cool to see them both in the Final Four, or not the Final Four, but the finals. But they were in the same bracket, so we just didn't get that lucked out. Michigan pretty much dominated it. Michigan pretty much dominated the Final Four. I mean, they had some bad shooting last night, but other than that, like they showed why they were the team that lasted the madness and won the championship. So kudos to them, even though I hate Michigan. But yeah, I thought Michigan pretty much showed why they belong to be champions.
Okay, Big Lynn, your thoughts?
I knew UConn was going to get through Illinois. It just the way Dan Hurley coaches the teams, you kind of expect them to be in the big moments, the big games, and stuff like that. And I tell you what, I seen some fan reaction videos from Saturday after UConn had won, and those Illinois fans were fucking pissed. I seen some people getting flipped off, and they just weren't orange.
I know a lot of Arizona fans were sad jacks.
Yeah, I didn't see too many of them there, but that's because they out in Southwest and shit.
It's weird because we got GWR's own Warren Misery, who lived up for a long time in Detroit, Michigan, but he's a big Arizona guy. He used to live in Arizona too, so he's a big Arizona guy. So I thought after Michigan beat him, I figured, well, you lived in Michigan, you're going to root for Michigan. No, he was pissed. He's rooting for UConn. So he was a double loser this weekend. So he's probably real upset right now.
Shit, you could have told him that Michigan was going to win, because you was pretty much picked Michigan to start the season, man. Like, see, Warren, I told you, man.
He picked Michigan to start the season. Did he?
Yeah, that's Arizona.
Did he turn against Michigan to win with Arizona? I stayed with Michigan.
Well, I went with I went with Michigan and to start the season. But yeah, I had Arizona in the tournament. I did.
I can't remember who I picked at the start of the season. I'll probably say someone IU or some shit.
And tell you what, the impressive thing was UConn done everything right last night to make that a close game. Like
absolutely, I thought they was gonna get it at the end.
They done what they had to do. They made the game in the 60s, where Michigan's been averaging 80 something points a game. They kept that game in the 60s. I mean, they done pretty much everything right, and was still came up a little bit short. Like basically lost about what they were down a half. And that first half, almost everything went right for them. And then the second half, UConn just couldn't hit no shots. Like they couldn't buy a 3-point shot for nothing until the last couple minutes, last minute and a half, they started hitting some threes.
If
they couldn't hit any, and it just came back to get them. But defensively, I mean, they out rebounded Michigan. Like they done everything they had to do to give themselves a chance to win the game, but it still wasn't enough. It just improved why they looked like the best team all season. Even when they didn't have the best shooting night last night, they was able to get the job done.
If UConn had started hitting their threes about a couple minutes before they started hitting them, they would have had Michigan right there at the end.
I'll tell you something. That Braylon Mullins from UConn, he's a freshman. He's from Indiana. I know he didn't shoot the ball great last night.
Yep.
But if you watch that guy play, that dude hustles. Like I watched him that whole game last night. He never stopped. I mean, he was coming from the 3-point line to get all offensive rebound. Like I love watching the way he plays the game. He plays a hard-nosed and 110% the whole game. He hit a few shots there late. Couldn't get struggled shooting the ball last night, but he had a couple blocks. Like he played his ass off the whole game. So I was impressed by the way he played.
You know what's crazy is the simple fact that it looked like a freaking Michigan home game last night with all that amazing blue.
Yeah, 80% Michigan.
Yeah, but I mean, Michigan's quite a bit closer than UConn.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said today on McAfee's show, I think 4 hours maybe for Michigan at the most, and then like 11 hours for UConn. So big difference. Okay, guys, one other thing with the NCAA before we move on. North Carolina, the Tar Heels hired a new coach, ex-NBA coach Michael Malone. Chris, your thoughts on that?
are they going to go get an MLB coach for their baseball team now? And they went and got a Super Bowl winning coach for the football team. That didn't go real well the first season. Now they got an NBA champion coach for the basketball team. So are they just going to start poaching coaches for the pros for all their college teams? I think it's a great hire. I really do. I think Malone, the way he's a hard nosed coach, I think it'll work. I think it'll work good in college, especially under this new era where you basically pick your roster. Like you have this much money, go out and pick what players you want. So he's going to be able to get guys that fit into his system, kind of like Hurley. I mean, look how hard nosed Hurley the coach is, and he's able to get good players to come play for him and want to be coached that way. I think Mike Malone's a great hire. I think it's stupid that he's not a coach in the NBA. I thought Denver was dumb when they fired him for one.
Yeah,
I think it's a great hire. I think he'll do good there in North Carolina. It's a high profile job. I think he's a guy that's not going to fold under that pressure. He's coaching NBA finals, and I think he has the respect and stuff of the players because of his credentials that he'll be able to give them to buy in. So I like the hire.
I like the hire too, and I'll tell you what, man. If they want to make this complete as far as their baseball team is concerned, I'm sure Dusty Baker might be available. You know,
he's over the dirt. Dusty's over the dirt. Yeah, I like the hire too, guys. I still, it's definitely going to be different being in college, but like you said, he is hard nosed, so I think he'll be fine. I like it pretty well. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I think it's a good move. I mean, I've always been a big fan of the Mike Malone as a coach. I thought he was hired prematurely in Denver, anyways, and why he didn't get a job to begin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Pablo. I was like, what is that noise?
I'm gonna choke this dog.
Is the dog underneath death?
Yeah. I wish I had a jar of peanut butter right now.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Just lie.
yeah, yeah.
No, but I do. I really like Mike Malone. I think it's a good hire for them. I think it's God damn.
Now I need just see some saltines and some jelly.
Lord. Off the rails. You all right, Justin?
I think so.
I would hope it'd be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the Mike Malone hire. Let's hope it doesn't act like the turn out like the Bill Belichick hire.
Yeah. Well, and it's true, but Belichick, man, people got to remember, he brought in 70 new players. He had a whole new team, and he didn't have a very many good players either. I mean, I don't want to say not good players, but they wasn't 4-star and 5-star recruits because they got started late recruiting.
I think they'll be better this year.
Yeah,
I do too.
I do too. Big Glenn, let's go to you. Let's talk a little WNBA. Atlanta Dream got Angel Reese in a trade with the Chicago Sky. Chicago Sky. They get 2 first-round picks, one in 2027 and one in 2028.
I'm gonna give my thoughts on the Sky, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give my thoughts on Angel Reese. Chicago Sky, they're dumb giving her up. I understand she probably went out because they wasn't gonna do much with what they had. I mean, they have Camilo Cardoso, but the Chicago side just needs to get a new team management, a new front office, or maybe even just fold at this point. I hate to say it because I know our guy Mike Hughes is from Chicago. I know he's done some beatwater work with them and whatnot. The Chicago Sky, that team is in shambles. I hate to see it, obviously. But as far as Angel Reese is concerned, I feel like her being in Atlanta is a perfect fit for her because their fan base is awesome. I know some people that live in Atlanta that are Dream fans, and I'm telling you what, man, she's gonna get those. She's gonna be having people buy tickets to see her play.
I want to ask you, do you think that she will settle down? Because I think big problem in Chicago, she was her own worst enemy.
Yeah, she'll settle down. The coach that they have there now, I think will get her right
Okay.
as far as what that all that is concerned. So
Okay.
She started playing well at the end of last season though, so I expect
she's got talent.
Yeah, I expect her to do well in Atlanta. I feel like it's a perfect fit situation.
I agree with you. I think I was looking at it. It looks like that she'll fit right in there. She
Yeah.
should. If she don't, she's got nobody to blame but herself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I see them still being in contention up there in the playoff spot and stuff. Maybe even better team than what they were last year at this point.
Yeah. Well, we're talking. Go ahead.
I was gonna say free agency. It ends next week, so we're gonna be seeing a lot of movement in the next week.
Real quick, your quick thoughts on the Indiana Fever and what you expect out of them this year.
I expect them to re-sign the people that they need to, which that being Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hall, and I do think that we are going to get re-sign Sophie Cunningham on a team friendly deal, and I think we will pick up and steal Alana Smith back from the Minnesota Lynx.
What do you think we're going to finish?
I think we're going to win all.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
we'll have a good chance as long as
stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Is healthy this year.
Absolutely, and we don't need Kelsey Mitchell's body giving out, and I'm sure she's been working on that with the nutritionist and all that stuff when it comes to your body and stuff. So.
Okay. Next thing I want to touch on a little bit is Chris. Let's talk just a little bit of Masters. Masters starts Thursday. What are you thinking? I know you usually follow golf. I don't know if you're following golf a lot right now, but the Masters starts on Thursday. Of course, I started Wednesday because that's what McAfee said, which I guess it kind of does, but not really. It does for him because he won't be on the. Well, he may be on the air, but he's not going to be on regular ESPN, at least.
Yeah, I think they show the par 3 challenge or whatever they call it on Wednesday, and but yeah, on Thursdays when the regular tournament starts, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Scotty Scheffler's your favorite, which kind of surprised me because he hasn't got off to a real good start early in the season. I haven't watched a lot, but I did watch a lot of the Players Championship a couple weeks ago, and Scheffler really struggled there. I like Bryson DeChambeau, who's the second favorite, and then I also like Ludwig Oberg. Oberg had a real good chance of winning the Players and kind of fell apart at the end. But I look for him to rebound. He's plus 1,700, so he's a guy. If you're a betting guy, I'd lay a little bit on. But it's going to be Masters is always fun to watch. You're not going. This is going to be the first Masters in years that you haven't had either Tiger or Phil Mickelson in the field. I think like 20. I think it's like 20 something years since that's happened. Not at least one of them went in the field. I'd like to see Colin Morikawa get going this weekend. I'm a big Morikawa fan, but I'll definitely be watching it as much as I can Thursday, Friday, and then I watched Masters Sunday every year. I've always been a big fan of the Masters tournament. I try to watch a lot Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, but I at least always catch most of the Sunday round.
Chris, let me ask you a question because I've tried to get into more sports since we're doing a lot more sports shows. I've got into more racing. I've always been kind of an IndyCar fan, but with Glenn being on the show, I've started watching more NASCAR. So if I was going to pick a golf tournament to watch, because I've never watched much golf, here and there I'll see a couple holes, but not much. If I was going to watch a golf tournament, is the Masters
really?
the one I need to watch?
Holes?
See a couple holes.
Yes. Any of the majors, but yes, the Masters is always good. That'd be a great one to watch. And then the Players Championship, the U.S. Open, the one that used to be called the British Open. I think they just call it the Open now. But any of the majors, but the Masters is just the course there in Augusta is beautiful. My favorite course is TPC Sawgrass. That's where they played the Players Championship a couple weeks ago. It's the one that has the 17th island green. So I love that course because of that hole. I love watching that hole. You see a lot go in the water. But yeah, the Masters is a great one to watch, especially if you're not a big golf fan. Masters is one to watch to get into it because it's one of the tournaments where all the best golfers in the world are all at.
And if you want something like silly entertainment, the Waste Management Open in Arizona is always a good one to watch.
Oh yeah, that one's fun to watch because it has a lot of like celebrities and stuff in it as well. Football players.
Guys, we're gonna have a little new segment here. It's called just hot takes, and I'm gonna say a couple of names, and I want your takes on them currently. First one is Tiger Woods. Big Glenn, your thoughts on Tiger Woods?
Lost legacy, or I should say, lost his legacy.
Do you think he lost his legacy?
Yeah. The porn star drug issue from 16 years ago was the start of it, and this pretty much, I think, finishes off.
I don't have an issue with the porn stars. I mean, hell, what's wrong with porn stars?
No, I wholly agree. It's just how that ended up, because it also started with a car wreck.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he has some issues with cars. I think he needs a good driver. I think that would, if he would just have a driver to drive him around all the time, that would help a lot of his issues. Justin, your thoughts, Tiger Woods?
I don't think it tarnishes the legacy. I look at it more of a guy crying for help. He has the addictions and stuff. Like, he was doing good for a while, and it looked like whatever he was going through, because I believe he was dating Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife or something like that.
Okay.
Like, they were really, really serious or something. Like, their kids were really close and stuff like that. So I don't know the situation. I would like to know more. I mean, it sucks that he decided to choose driving under the influence and drinking and driving, but yeah, I don't think it's a tarnished legacy, golf legacy right at the moment. I feel like, if we're doing that, then we got to start tarnishing everybody for everything, and that starts with, Tom Brady, allegedly deflating the footballs, or Pete Rose and the point shaving, just different drop rumors and stuff like that. So yeah, it's hard to say, but yeah, I can't really say right now it tarnishes the legacy. I just see it's a guy struggling.
Yeah, I think he's got some struggles, but yeah, I agree. I don't think it's tarnished. I mean, what he did on the golf course, it don't change that. I mean, to me, it don't. Chris, what about you, Tiger Woods?
Troubled soul. Like Justin said, I think it's a cry for help as well. But I think he's tarnished his public image. But I don't think he's tarnished his golf legacy. Kind of in the same way with Pete Rose. Like, I'm a big Pete Rose fan, and he wasn't allowed in the Hall of Fame because of the betting stuff. But to me, that never tarnished what he done on the field, because that was after he was done playing baseball. That was when he was a manager. Him betting didn't have no effect on him getting the most hits in Major League Baseball. Like, that was before that. Now I look at it the same way with Tiger Woods. Like,
yeah,
I've always been a huge Tiger Woods fan. I'm still a huge Tiger Woods fan, but like watching him golf wouldn't be where it is today. Golf might not even be around anymore if it wasn't for Tiger Woods. Like, they were struggling to get people to watch.
It's true.
And then you had Tiger coming along, and look at all the young kids that started playing golf, and it really revived golf. And golf's bigger now than it's ever been, and it's because of Tiger. So I don't think you can tarnish that. I do think he's really tarnished his public image, especially with a lot of the older fans. I don't think the younger fans really care as much about what
the younger fans probably like John Daly. Yeah.
But like, hell, I ain't gonna lie, when fucking Tiger won the Masters 4 or 5 years ago, last time he won it, I cried on that Sunday when he won. Like it was just that is because I never thought he'd win another one for one. But like I've always been he's the reason I got into watching golf, and I still watch it. Down.
Okay, guys. The next person we'll bring up, I'm gonna clarify this. Pat McAfee and the WWE. That's pretty controversial right now with what happened on Friday night and continuing to happen. Let's go to Big Glenn and get his thoughts on Pat McAfee and the WWE.
Yes, yes, yes. I am loving it because I know I understand the business part of it and stuff, and Pat McAfee playing his role, and Pat McAfee is playing his role fantastically. And CM Punk doing his thing just adds more fuel to that fire. So
yeah,
I'm loving all this shit. So
okay. Justin, Pat McAfee, WWE.
Yeah, I think the controversy definitely adds a little bit fire to the storyline. Do I think he should have been the guy behind the phone call? No, I think it should have been somebody else. But I kind of see it kind of going along the lines of like the TKO family group, like the board of directors and stuff like that. And so that's kind of where I see it going. But he made the comment of Randy Orton trying to save the business, and I mean it's kind of where it is. I kind of see them slowly going back towards the Attitude Era. It'll never be the Attitude Era,
No.
but I think it's starting to get a little bit more edgier, and I think this is a good way to start it.
Before Chris goes, I got a question for everybody. Do you think it's potential? It could be a possibility that Pat McAfee may have been a decoy caller that we'll find out who the real caller is at SummerSlam.
Well, he said that he was the caller on TV.
Yeah.
Now that's what he said.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think so. I think it was a stretch. I particularly didn't like him being the guy either. To be honest.
I can see a pivot.
But I love his promo. I thought his
same.
promo was fantastic. I thought it added edge, like Justin said, going edgier. Yeah, it's not going to be the Attitude Era again, but I thought it added edge. And then when you add in what happened on Monday night with CM Punk, I don't know where the story's going, and I like it. I don't know where the story's going with Punk. I think Punk and Cody Rhodes may end up teaming up, and this could be a long-lasting thing. Now, one big thing that McAfee did say, if Orton loses at WrestleMania, you will never see him on WWE TV again.
Well, we need Randy Orton to win then.
So I don't know where they're going. Chris, your thoughts on Pat McAfee WWE?
Oh, I loved it. For one, I think most people are mad just because they got surprised. WWE got them. They wouldn't. WWE they're so predictable. But then when they do something that nobody expects, then everybody gets mad. Oh, that's terrible. This was stupid. But then if it would have been one of the people they were guessing, then it would have been all they're so predictable. So either way, you're going to have haters. I'm a big McAfee fan, so of course I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
I thought the promo was awesome. And then he just carried it over onto the show yesterday. I didn't watch his whole show yesterday because I'm a little under the weather the last couple of days, but I did watch a clip of him talking about that on there, and I thought he basically cut another good promo about it on his show. I like it. I think they're going, like Justin said, kind of going back to that attitude toward the Attitude Era where you had Vince and him kind of running I forget exactly what they called it now. Corporate. You had corporate and all that. I think they're going to kind of toward that where McAfee's representing TKO, and it's going to be kind of like the TKO versus WWE thing. I think it's going to end up turning out great.
It's been mentioned. The Rock was mentioned an awful lot on Monday night. A lot of references towards The Rock. I really wonder if we don't see The Rock show up. I don't want to predict that because that's what everybody says every year, and he don't show up. But his name was really mentioned.
I know McAfee's good friends with The Rock and all them guys up from TKO. So
and you know what the funny thing about all that Pat McAfee stuff is? It exposed all those IWC fans as the fucking curly crybabies.
Oh yeah, but let me ask you this, guys, because there's a lot of speculation and nobody knows for sure. And a lot of speculation that people reported, but they're speculating. Nobody's come and told them that. I don't believe that. They're speculating that the promo by McAfee was a shoot, and that's not what he was supposed to say. So it left them in kind of a bad way because it didn't go the way they thought, and that Cody was never supposed to come out and do another promo. And they sent Cody out and told him to rip, and they told Punk to go out and rip, say whatever you want to say. So do you believe that that's true and that there's really friction between TKO and WWE and Triple H? Or do you think this is all storyline and they've got everybody buying? Chris, I'll go to you first.
I think it's storyline myself. I think it's storyline, and I think they're moving to try to get edgier, and I think it might have caught some people by surprise, but you got a lot of people, like you said, that are biting into it as well. But yeah, I think it's storyline. I don't buy into that. It was that McAfee went off script and that then they changed everything. I think it was. I don't know. I just don't buy that.
Yeah, I think it was scripted. I think he went off script on a couple of things. For one thing, he said it didn't make sense. I knew what he meant when he was saying 5-foot guys and doing 45-minute iron matches. He wasn't talking about WWE. That's the way it sounded. He was taking a shot at AEW, but it didn't come out right. It didn't come out right in the context that he said it. Because people say, well, they don't have 45 minutes wrestling on WWE one match. No, they don't. But that's the way he put it out there. That's who's not he was referring to.
No, he was taking a shot. When he said it, I knew what he was talking about.
Anybody's got sense should know. But Justin, your thoughts? Do you think this is all work? Do you think that the lines are blurred? Do you think there's really friction between TKO and WWE?
I think the lines are blurred. I think maybe there's a little bit of grievances, but also at the same time, I think they're trying to make it a little bit more edgier. I mean, you look at how the Attitude Era really started was, not only did they have to get edgier because of WCW, AEW is a little bit edgier with, the hardcore, the glass and everything like that. But you looked, Austin and Vince started having their feud. And so that really kind of launched the Attitude Era. Was Austin was going against the boss. So now you kind of have, Pat McAfee kind of representing TKO and saying, we're going to change professional wrestling. We're going to change the business. But maybe he's not. I don't know. It's hard to predict. Maybe he is the TKO representative, but also at the same time, he's playing both roles because it says he's saying without Randy Orton, we're trying to, Randy's trying to save the business. So I don't know. It's definitely confusing, but I don't think it's a shoot.
Yeah, I like the fact that they've caught me off guard, and everybody was bitching about the build to WrestleMania. Now look how much people are talking about WrestleMania now. About what's going on with both main events. Look how much they're talking about both main events right now, and people say, it's not a good way. Bullshit. People will talk. Look at the views that they're getting online with that promo from Pat McAfee, the promo from Cody Rhodes, and the promo from CM Punk on Monday night. Look at all the views that they're getting, and it ain't just wrestling fans that are viewing it. So I like where it's going because I don't know where it's going, and that's especially because the internet ruins so much. Right now, they're not ruining anything because I don't know. The only thing I'm worried about, we may have another injury because Stephanie Vaquer tried to kill two women, and now they both got their big old knots on their heads and they're in concussion protocol.
All three of them got it.
If
Raquel, Liv, and Roxanne all got a bump on their head.
is Cody and Orton going to be the main event of Saturday night?
Yep.
Yes, Saturday night. Yeah, that's the main event.
One. Yes. Big Glenn, what do you think? Do you think lines are blurred? Do you think there's really friction between TKO and WWE, or do you think that this is just all storyline, or what do you think?
I think it's all storyline, and when they do this little section for WWE Real, probably about a year from now, we all are going to see it come out, and I'll tell you why. They're going to use Punk's promo as the reason why ticket sales are going to be low this summer. So yeah, all this stuff is going to be great. Pretty much, I would say, until the Survivor Series. Then after the Royal Rumble in January, we'll see that it's pretty much all of us all for the show. That's the other thing.
Okay. Do you guys think there's going to be another guy or another person that we're going to see come out at WrestleMania that's going to be a part of this match or group? Chris, what do you think? Do we see The Rock? Do we see Kevin Owens? Do we see somebody? What do you think?
I don't know. I kind of don't think so. I mean, you could. I don't know if they need it. Like, you start towing that line and try to do too much if you're not careful. So, but I mean, I guess they could, because if McAfee's out there with Orton, they could have somebody come out there to help Cody. So it'll be interesting.
Could have them out to help Cody and pull like a Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 2000, turn on them before the end of the match.
What do you think, Justin? We're going to see somebody else be added to this storyline, to this group?
Maybe he's going to be the
if you're talking, we can't hear you.
No, I don't think it's needed. I was running back from the bathroom. That's why I was trying to hurry up. I had to go. Been drinking too much water. Damn. Yeah, I don't think it's necessary that anybody be added. If anybody needed to be added, it needed to be The Rock to basically say, "Hey, I'm behind it all," or Pat McAfee was the middleman for me. Basically, what they were trying to do with Travis Scott. Maybe this was the storyline that they were trying to do. I don't know. But I really don't think anybody else needs to be added to it.
Okay. And one thing I'm going to end on real quick. You guys' thoughts? They've announced the show's match one for the night 1 and night 2. I'm not going to go through the whole card right now, but I did think it's interesting. They announced what the first 2 matches are going to be. It's going to be on ESPN and ESPN2. On night 1, it's going to be Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. And the other match that will be shown in that first hour will be The Vision and ISO Speed against the Usos and LA Knight. So that's the first two matches. They're going to start off on night 1. On night 2, they're going to start with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar and the 6-pack ladder match. So I think they're picking pretty good matches.
Oba was night 1.
I've got it down night 2. I'm looking at Wikipedia, and they've got it as night 2.
All right, because I thought I saw the Oba one on the blue side, which would have been night 1.
Yeah, I'm looking at Wikipedia right now, and it says night 2, along with the ladder match.
Yeah, I know the match placements for each one on ESPN.
And I did hear
are all
the
right.
reason they only got 6 matches listed. Their plans was to add Asuka and
EO,
but they've got issues with injuries because they don't know if the Bella Twins are going to be able to go. So they're waiting because they may use Asuka and her tag team partner to fill in that empty spot of tag match. And they also don't know what they're doing because of the injuries to
EO's neck.
Liv Morgan and
Yeah.
Especially, well, Liv Morgan. Roxanne's hurt, but I think Roxanne's plan is that she was going to end up turning and help Finn Balor.
It wouldn't surprise me because when Finn was doing his little smile and shit and trying to court Roxanne when he was jacking around with Dom, a year ago, so it wouldn't surprise me.
You guys' thoughts on the matches they picked to be on ESPN? Do you think they made that's the right picks, or
Yes?
What do you think? You think so, Glenn?
Yeah, especially with the Brock and Alba. You know that they was going to do the Brock one on one of the 2 nights because they did the same thing when they had Brock and Cena open up WrestlePalooza on the ESPN thing. So
yeah, okay. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I think Brock and Oba was a good move, and I do like the Drew and Jacob. Both of those 2 matches, I probably would have replaced the some of the other matches. I might. What is the Vision matches? I probably would have replaced that with night 1 would be the Vision match, I believe. I would probably replace that with the women's match. Just kind of the debut, just kind of showcase some of the women.
Like maybe,
and then
yeah.
And then I probably would have done the same thing for night 2. Have Oba and then debut or showcase the women as well.
Okay. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I mean, I like the picks, but it's going to be. I tell you what, man. I think it's a good card. I think the matches. If you look at this year's card compared to last year's card, on paper, this card blows last year's card away.
Yeah, last year was also in John Cena's last WrestleMania. So
yeah, well, we know how that turned out, that last match. So
yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, would have been fine if it had left that one moron out of it.
Yeah. If he's gonna come out, The Rock should have as well, but
Yeah. Well, guys, that's all I've got for today. Chris, what do you think? You like the picks that they made?
Yeah, I do. I think I think Brock and Oba was a no doubt pick to me.
Yeah.
And then I think the other ones are smart. I think having the Usos on there is smart because I think they're a name that a lot of people know. Even if you're not a big wrestling fan, they know about the Usos. So yeah, I think it's a pretty good pick. Really, I think it might help draw some viewers to ESPN, and then hopefully you get some of them people to subscribe to the app because they want to keep watching it.
Yeah, that most definitely. Yeah, I'm excited for WrestleMania, but I am every year. I'm a huge fan, so
yep.
So that's all I got for tonight. Hey, check out the show tomorrow, 10 o'clock. We'll be doing a hot seat with OG Tony and the gang. So check us out then tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
And I should be on with House tomorrow at 5 for watch along with Josh.
Okay, all right. Check that out too. Check out House and Big Glenn. They'll be talking some ECW. That's always good. And again, guys, we appreciate everybody watching. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we appreciate everybody watching.